Post my tenure at the Department of Corrections, they did have a couple of issues.
Barrett Marson is a former spokesperson for the Department of Corrections. He's referring to an execution in 2014 that took 2 hours to complete. Then in 2015, the state of Arizona tried to illegally import an anesthetic that had been used to carry out executions. It was no longer manufactured by companies approved by the FDA. Federal agents stopped that shipment at the airport. Arizona officials eventually changed the drug used in the lethal injection after finding a new supplier. Marson says he's confident the issue has been fixed.
They have, I believe, worked to get that drug combination correct so that future executions will go on without a hitch.
When Governor Katie Hobbs took office, she ordered a review of the lethal injection cocktail the DOC was using, and she hired retired federal judge David Duncan to lead that review. He wrote this letter to the governor's office calling the lethal injection unreliable, saying drug manufacturers no longer allow states to use the appropriate drugs. Duncan advised against using lethal injections or lethal gas, another legal execution method in Arizona.
Inmates convicted in the early 90s or before actually have the option of using the gas chamber. Very few would take that because it is a much more painful and extended death time.
But Judge Duncan recommended that Arizona adopt the firing squad, saying, quote, it has the lowest botch rate. Yesterday, Hobbs fired Duncan and announced the state would resume executing inmates with lethal injection. The first death row inmate set to be executed will be Aaron Gunches, who kidnapped and murdered a man in 2002 and was sentenced to death by a jury in 2013.
We may see quite a few executions over the next couple of years because there is such a backlog now.
Judge Duncan says state leaders told him they wanted his recommendations on improving the procedures and practices under existing laws.